The first thing I've got to say to you guys is that we've raised just over £1,000. Down to you. I just can't thank you enough. And I'm sure if Lou was here. And there's a little story which I'll keep sweet and to the point, is we wanted a recognition of Lou down here running around with all of you guys nicking bits and pieces, and ironically we were going to put up a cherry tree, Adrian, and because they'd gone past flowering, he said, I didn't even know it to that point. We came down, Lynn and I, it was a quiet morning, and he said, I've got a crabapple tree. I said, you're joking? And he said, well, no, is that all right? Very humble. And I said, well, it's bizarre, because I said Lou used to love eating crab apples on one of the walks that we used to do. So it was a fitting place to have the tree. The crab apples she ate, the place we first came to on Little Horseshoe. And the thing is, with time, she looks down the whole lake, all the swims, and when you come back you can say hello. The reason I invited Bonnie and Bob and Ross, who's a typical lab retriever, more interested in food than listening to an old fella like me codging on, is that Bonnie was the person that found Lucy for me, and it was appropriate. And ironically, we found, well, both of us, we found Bramble, who I'm collecting later on. I felt that I wanted to give the money that you guys have raised, not me, you guys have raised, to a memorial for Lucy, to a friend, to a wonderful thing that these guys do. They rely on people like you, your generosity and your kindness and your humility as well. Bonnie?
Gosh, right.
Or Linda, sorry.
I've been a volunteer puppy walker, and we've had 19 of these little puppies over the years. And I've been inspired mostly by a guide dog gentleman that lives in Swindon recently, gave a talk about how he felt at a later age of life of losing his sight. And although he'd got a really brilliant family that helped him, he couldn't go down to the shop to get his paper on his own. He couldn't go to the pub for a drink. He couldn't do anything on his own because he'd lost his confidence. And that just spurred me on to do what I do, which is have these guys from 6 weeks of age, many sleepless nights, a lot of worry, great fun, until they're 14 months of age, where they trot off nicely out the door with my supervisor, not even giving me a backward glance, and I'm just left in a flood of tears. And then to have the heartening reward of knowing that I've played such a small part in helping somebody else who I will never meet. And just like you guys have given your time, and I know you've enjoyed your weekend, but also put your hands in your pockets to raise such a phenomenal amount of money, because it does take an awful amount of money to get these chaps through their training. We as puppy walkers just volunteer our time. And how our love and tireless work in getting it right so the puppies can be rounded and move on. Because if you just took a dog at a year and put it into a situation that it got to walk in a straight line and go left and right, avoiding obstacles, to get onto a train or to go into a shop, it's quite daunting. But if you do it from 6 weeks of age and gradually nurture that dog, then you've got a nice rounded dog. Like I said to some of the guys earlier, you don't put a cassette in the back of the head and switch it on and off they go. They're an animal. And when they're off the lead or out of their harness, they're just like any other dog. They get up to tricks, they get up to mischief, they can do whatever they like. But when they're working, the mode comes in and it's phenomenal. And if you ever get a chance to do a blindfold walk with one of these dogs, just do it. and you'll just understand why I spend my time, and Bob spend our time actually doing this for guide dogs. And if ever you want to do it, just phone up one of the centres and register for it. But I can't say such a big thank you for everybody for actually putting in that money and that time this weekend. It's really, really appreciated. Thank you.
Thanks, Bonnie. You've got the horrendous thing of presenting Lucy's bowl.
Right.
And I can't think of a nicer guy that, if I was presenting it too. He's my son. No, he's not. But Peter, who was in number 13.
Unlucky for some.
But he did the business in fair play. I honestly cannot think, I'm sure you all agree, I can't think of a nicer geezer here who deserves to win it the first time round. Peter, come on, Peter.
Cheers, mate. Normally, after all these occasions, I go home sucking on a lemon. Now I think it's going to be a peach on the way home. It's going to be a lot sweeter, isn't it? I just, again, as Keith said, thank you all for doing whatever you've done. We've all done our bit and we've all played a bit in it as well. So it was good fun. Rock and roll.
Stay there, mate. Bonnie, can you give him that?
Oh, right.
Lucy's caricature.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. Yeah, thanks very much.
Lovely.
There you go.
I think it's going to take us to.
Pete, and that's for you to keep as well, my
Oh,
friend.
is it? Ah, sorted. Lovely.
But don't drop the glass.
No, I won't, mate. Yes, come on! Let's have it!
Well, it was a bit, wasn't it, at times? They were like, you know, two matchmen at each other, ounces, drams, you know, da-da-da. Both really good friends, drawn next to each other, you know, it was one of those. And again, I can't think of another nicer guy. Hey, what do you think, son?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
So, Mr. Elmer, Sutton, scattered, shattered, Bates, number 2. Pleasure, mate.
Thanks a lot.
There we go. Well done.
Cheers.
Lovely.
Same as what Pete just said, for a good cause really, so it was all worth it. We've all had a laugh, caught a few, drunk a few, and that's it. Cheers.
Well done, son.
Cheers, Pete.
Number 3, it's a bit ambiguous, this one. Eh?
Ginger boy, he won it. No one saw mine.
Lewis Reed. He caught a goldfish.
Yay!
Well done, Lewis.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Come here. Again, brilliant event, and hopefully we'll do the same again next year. So, bravo. Well done, son. Nice one.
Good.
Yeah.